Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making easy, delicious chocolate chip scones. So let's get started. First off, preheat that oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We want this to be nice and hot. Now grab a big bowl and we're gonna add 300 grams or 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour right inside. This whole recipe today is all by hand and it is so fun to make. To the flour, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar. You know it clumps up because there's molasses in here, so go ahead and just break it apart with your hands before you add it in. I swear you'll thank me because any clumps are gonna be super annoying. 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar now. These scones are not overly sweet, but they're kissed with chocolate and they are so delicious. They have a wonderful, crisp, flaky texture on the outside, but they're soft on the inside. I want a dainty 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. If you're wondering why you use like some baking powder, some baking soda reacts with acids that you add into your baked goods. The brown sugar here is slightly acidic. It'll react with the baking soda. Baking powder is all inclusive. It'll just puff anything up no matter what. Baking powder and baking soda also brown things differently. I could do a whole video on it. Let me know if you're curious in the comments. We're also adding in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This gives you a little bit of contrast. Our scale is done. I'm gonna grab a whisk and, oh, we have a special visitor. Say hi to Buddy. Look at this cute face.
Buddy.
Look at these paws. Say hi, Buddy. Buddy says, what are you cooking with? You smell delicious.
He's the cutest St. Bernard in the whole world.
He's only, what, 11 weeks old right now?
10.
He's 10 weeks old. He's gonna get so big, but he's all cuddles and fluff. He's like my favorite thing in the world. Hi, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Buddy. I'll miss you. I am gonna wash my hands since I was touching his paws. Okay, back to the recipe. Isn't he cute? Give this a whisk. I'm using my Dutch whisk, and even though I crumbled up that brown sugar, I still see a couple lumps. Grab a knife, a little cutting board. I want 1/3 of a cup or 76 grams of ice cold butter. Unlike most recipes, we're not using room temperature butter today. It needs to be cold from the fridge. And in case you're wondering, this is my cookbook. It's available for pre-order. There's a link in the description box below, and it's over 100 brand new recipes that I am so excited to share with you. This is for later, this is for now. So I'm gonna cut this up, and then we're gonna cut it in. So at this point, you have a couple options. You could use a pastry cutter. I actually don't have one. I love using my hands to do this. It's very tactile, enjoyable, and you can really control the size of the butter. But it's only good for people with cold hands. So all my cold-handed friends, this is a job you can do. If you have hot hands, use a pastry cutter or a couple knives. Right now I'm breaking the butter up into smaller pieces. And the deal is that you need to have somewhat small pieces of butter, but if they're too small, it's not gonna work out. If they're too big, you'll have giant like voids where the butter just melted. So you want to have smaller pieces that are going to expand in the oven and make beautiful layers for your scones. This is getting pretty close. I'm just getting the last large lumps of butter and tearing them up. So gratifying. Okay, I have 1/3 of a cup of chocolate chips here. Dumping those in. I'm just going to mix to distribute. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge for a second, just while I get the next step ready. You're actually swapping the dry ingredients out for some ice cold cream and a cold egg. We're making a pastry basically, so everything needs to be cold today, unlike almost any other day. I almost tapped the cream on the counter. No. Tap your egg on the counter. Would have been bad. I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of cold heavy cream. This is whipping cream to us if you're in the UK, double cream. I also want to add in 1 teaspoon or 5 ml of vanilla extract. There we go. Just a little bit will go a long way in this recipe. Whiska, whiska, whiska. My cream mixture is mixed. I grabbed a baking sheet and lined it with parchment paper. And now we're gonna take our dry ingredients out of the fridge. Ooh. So now I'm gonna add my wet mixture into the dry while mixing with a spatula or a pastry cutter if you're using that. It's gonna form a shaggy mixture, and I'll warn you that it might seem a little like crumbly, but don't panic. Gosh, cream and vanilla, oh. Mix this together. Of course, you do not want to overmix it. You also don't want to like smush the butter up too much. So you can see there's some powdery bits, that's fine. I'm just gonna fold those in. You could even use your hands. So all we're trying to do is hydrate the dough. So it's not powdery, it's in a shaggy mixture. And even though it looks like there's a lot of dry stuff here, this will press together really well. And there are a couple more very important steps yet to be done. I don't know what it is about this recipe, but actually I do know what it is. It's the vanilla and the butter and the cream. They all come together and smell so good, every step of this. Grab a tiny bit of flour, lightly flour our surface, and dump our dough out. So you can see this looks a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna pat this out into a 3/4 inch square. This tool is a bench scraper and you need one in your kitchen. It's basically like a big blunt knife that you can use on your counter, so it won't damage the counter unless you're crazy. Don't do that. But you can use it to smooth cakes, divide dough. It's really handy. Okay, this is all nicely patted into a square-ish shape. Cut this in half into 2 rectangles, and now we're gonna stack it and pat it. This, if you make biscuits, American biscuits, is like the most important step that you can do. It gives you those amazing layers. So I'm pressing this back down into a 3/4 inch rectangle. Cut it one more time and stack it again. Just doing this simple step is gonna give you a crazy difference in your the layers that you see. It'll be beautiful. So I want a 7-inch disc. I always have my little Taylor tape at the ready because I can never eyeball it. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Looks good. Now, grab that bench scraper again. We're gonna cut this circle in half. Then we're gonna cut the halves in half to make quarters. And now we're gonna halve our quarters to make eighths. Math lesson. Now you're gonna transfer these carefully onto your lined baking sheet. And I will tell you, you probably know this, but if you baked these, horrible things would happen. Don't do that, please. You wanna have these in the fridge or freezer to set up a bit, because otherwise the butter would just ooze out. It would be a disaster. The chill time is really important here. These delicious treats are going into the fridge for about 15 minutes, or you can freeze them for anywhere between 5 and 15. If you want, freeze them here until they're solid, pop them into a freezer bag, and these can be in your freezer for a month. Take them out, bake straight from frozen for an on-demand treat. We're baking ours up today, so I'm popping them into the freezer now. Okay, nice and firm. These guys are ready to go into the oven after a couple steps. Grab a brush, a little bit of cream, and we're just gonna brush the tops. It's gonna give them a golden finish, a little bit of gloss, and help hold on some more delicious things. Don't brush the sides though, you don't wanna seal the edge of your scones. My scones have all been covered with cream, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of turbinado sugar on top. You could use any granulated sugar that you enjoy. And this adds just a little bit of sparkle, crunch, and sweetness, all delicious things. One optional step is to crown your scones with a few chocolate chips. We're cooking these at a high temperature, so they're not gonna have the most like amazing melty, glossy texture, but they'll still look great. These are ready to go into the oven, 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes, and you wanna rotate the baking sheet halfway through so they bake nice and evenly. They'll be golden on top and puffed up too. Look at the height and layers. These guys are so amazing. In fact, that's really nice. They're perfectly sweet, super light, and I really appreciate the chocolate in there. They're delicious. I hope you get a chance to try this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my Muffins and Scones playlist.